Greetings, fellow moviegoers, and welcome to Movie Central, the place to talk about movies, TV shows based on movies, toys based on movies, games based on movies, and rides based on movies. I'm your host, Mr. CCS, and this is my pet gorilla, George. Yeah, I'm calling an audible. I was going to review Superman Returns this week, but I instead decided against it because I had lost interest within 30 minutes. However, I do have a review for you today, and it's discussing the newest and probably most exciting part for the live-action DC films. It has been 15 years since Marvel and DC's massive war for a cinematic universe began. In the summer of 2008, The Dark Knight and Iron Man were both released in theaters. The Dark Knight was a very successful film, and is considered to this day to be one of the best comic book films of all time. But Iron Man did something at the time that no other movie did: set up a cinematic universe. From there, we had individual films for the Hulk, Thor, and Captain America, before finally reaching the Avengers in 2012, which of course led to many more exciting projects. DC had caught wind of this idea back in 2007 and decided to combat it. With the help of George Miller of Mad Max fame, a large interconnected blockbuster franchise was set to kick off in 2009 with Justice League Mortal, which is a very interesting canceled project, by the way. Justice League Mortal was set to kick off a universe with solo films for each Justice Leaguer, as well as a trilogy of movies focusing on the League itself. Mortal was to kick off this line in 2009 and had a pretty great cast lineup: DJ Catrona as Superman, Armie Hammer as Batman, Megan Gale as Wonder Woman, Santiago Cabrera as Aquaman, Adam Brody as The Flash, Common as Jon Stewart's Green Lantern, and Hugh Keys-Byrne as Martian Manhunter. It would also feature Anton Yelchin as Wally West, Jay Baruchel as Maxwell Lord, and Teresa Palmer as Talia al Ghul. As far as the quality of the movie goes, it probably wouldn't have had the strongest writing, but it definitely would have been a big, expensive movie. Unfortunately, it was put on indefinite hold due to the writer's strike, and George Miller losing interest in the project in favor of working on Mad Max Fury Road, which was a very, very, very popular movie. Unfortunately, I don't see this movie getting made because Anton Yelchin passed away. Most of the cast is a lot older, and Hugh Keys-Byrne also died. There are a ton of casting choices I still think can work, though, such as Armie Hammer as Batman and Jay Baruchel as Maxwell Lord. But in a movie together, to quote Arnold from Batman and Robin, I find that unlikely. Now, DJ Catrona and Adam Brody were actually in a DC property together with the Shazam films, so good for them. Anyways, the movie was the first real attempt to make an interconnected universe of films, but after its cancellation, Warner Brothers moved on to focus on solo films. Batman had a trilogy, so he was in good hands, and the Green Lantern side of things were bad, to say the least. But in 2013, we got Man of Steel, which kicked off the DC Extended Universe, announced at Comic-Con in 2014, with films based around Batman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, the Suicide Squad, The Flash, Green Lantern, and the Justice League all announced. Unfortunately, things got really bad really fast. Batman vs. Superman was rushed, Suicide Squad was disliked by everyone, Wonder Woman was good, and the Justice League movie was completely destroyed in post. From there, Aquaman and Shazam were great, Birds of Prey was mid, Wonder Woman 1984 sucked, The Suicide Squad was great, Batgirl was cancelled, and Black Adam tried to reinvent everything, but didn't. It was not a good look for DC, mainly due to Warner Brothers. I don't blame anyone specifically, but I do know that the executives and higher-ups had something to do with it. However, when David Zaslav became CEO of Warner Brothers, he hired two filmmakers to save the day: James Gunn and Peter Safran. Gunn had previously worked on The Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. but is known to most superhero movie fans as the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, with the third movie hitting theaters this summer. Gunn and Safran decided that it was for the better to reboot everything and start from scratch. So by the end of 2023, we had to say goodbye to the DC Extended Universe, which I'm sure everyone is okay with, and say hello to the new DC Universe, which will connect all kinds of media, from movies to animated movies to animated shows to spin off comics to video games. This is the right move. And considering Marvel's latest projects have been something of a train wreck, I believe that DC will come back and come back strong with these next few projects coming out later down the line. But as a major DC Comics fan, what do I want to see from the DCU? Well, let's find out. We know that this universe is split up into chapters, with the first chapter being called Gods and Monsters. It has no connection to the animated film of the same name, or the web series either, but it has been pointed out that Gods and Monsters is the name of a chapter of Darwin Cook's DC story, The New Frontier. We also know some of the initial projects. As far as shows go, we have Creature Commandos and a few live action shows, since Creature Commandos is an animated show. The live action shows consist of Waller, where she is still played by Viola Davis, Lanterns, focusing on both Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, Paradise Lost, a Wonder Woman prequel set on Themyscira, and Booster Gold, my personal favorite of the projects, based around shows at least. We also know a few of the movies. Superman Legacy, which is being released on July 11th, 2025, the only confirmed release dates. The Authority, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, based on the Tom King story, Swamp Thing, and my personal favorite, The Brave and the Bold, not based on the animated series, but on the Grant Morrison Batman and Robin stories. It's also been confirmed that Todd Phillips' Joker movies and the Matt Reeves Batman films are not in this universe, and are standalone, which is the right thing to do in my mind, despite the fact that Pattinson would make a great Batman in an interconnected thread. Maybe he can cross over with Tyler Hoechlin's Superman, I don't know. As I said, it also connects animated films, spin-off comics, and video games, and I feel like that's a good move on Gunn's part, because Marvel always did this. They had the movies, but they also had short films, shows, and spin-off comics, and a VR game with damage control, which isn't canon, but you get my point. It's also confirmed that The Flash, which comes out this summer, is the thing that gets the ball rolling with the reboot, with the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker still taking place in the new universe as well as the old one. Not what I would do, but okay. Other than that, no previous actor or actress has been confirmed nor denied to make an appearance, but I can assume that John Cena is definitely returning, as well as the whole Peacemaker crew. The DC animated universe is also a prime inspiration for this new world, which is a great thing to hear as a major DC fan. Okay, what are the things that aren't confirmed? Jason Momoa is rumored to play Lobo or return as Aquaman, preferably the former. Margot Robbie is rumored to return as Harley Quinn. Likely, but not what I want. Ezra Miller is rumored to stay as the Flash. Hopefully not. Blue Beetle is rumored to be a part of the universe. I kind of hope so. And that's about it. Now we get into the things I want and don't want. Right off the bat, give the directors creative freedom for their movies. Superman seems to be handled well since James Gunn is writing it, but Batman should have elements of darkness. The inevitable Flash film should feel fun and adventurous, and the Justice League film should feel like events, much like the Avengers for Marvel. Failure to do this will result in angry fans, so don't screw it up. I want to see a ton of characters in this universe. Pull a Batman the Brave and the Bold and make a massive non-Justice League movie with as many characters as you can. And make a Justice League movie with those characters too. Speaking of characters, specific characters I want for Superman come down to Lex Luthor, but for God's sake, do him right. Brainiac, Bizarro, Metallo, Lobo, Parasite, and even Crypto and Supergirl, which Supergirl is already confirmed, but you know what I mean. Specific characters I want for Batman come down to most of his rogues. I mean, come on. Give us as many as you can. Also give us Nightwing, Red Robin, Red Hood, and Batgirl, which I know are confirmed, but please do it anyway. The Lantern side of things should include the red, orange, yellow, blue, indigo, violet, white, and black Lantern Corps, not just the green. I really want to see Sinestro, Atrocitus, Larfleeze, and Blackhand because they are just really cool characters. If you're doing Booster Gold, bring Ted Kord's Blue Beetle because those two go together like salt and pepper, peanut butter and jelly, cookies and milk, whatever you want to say. Give us the Legion of Doom. Have Lex Luthor and Gorilla Grodd lead it and make them epic. Give us a Teen Titans movie with as many characters as possible on that team. Give us unusual pairings like the DC Animated Universe did. Give us Arrow and Canary, Thanagar, the Atom, the Justice Society, the Justice League Dark, Dr. Fate, and so many others into this universe. Okay, those are not even close to all of them, but those are just a few things I really want to see. Okay, now for what I don't want. And there is only really one major thing. Don't screw it up. None of us want to or can take another loss like the previous universe. This should be easy to do on all your parts. And if you mess up, I won't be happy as a critic, but mainly as a massive DC fan and fellow member of the geek community. DC Comics is my favorite franchise tied with Star Wars, so it is important that this is done right. I am counting on James Gunn and Peter Safran to give us amazing content. And seeing as how James Gunn is a fellow DC fan, I have no doubt in my mind that this will be great. But still, my one wish, nay, mandate, is for you guys to listen to me when I say don't screw it up. If you do, then I, along with many other DC fans, will not be happy. And to end off this segment, I want to reach out to the geek community and let you know that I am on your side. We as a community have been spoiled rotten with our franchises being adapted so well. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Super Mario Bros., Transformers, He-Man, Marvel, DC, Sonic the Hedgehog, and so much more. If they mess up with this new DC live-action movie universe, know I am here with you and will be on your side to spread our message. Well, that's it for this one, folks. The last one I did of these sort of prediction videos was for Across the Spider-Verse back last summer. And that movie continues to look promising, and I hope to God the movie is as good as I hope it will be. But I'm getting off track. Feel free to leave your reservations about the DCU in the comments below, and tune in next week when I take a look at a sequel to Batman Begins. With that said, my name is Mr. CCS, this is Movie Central, and that, my friends, is a wrap. See you next week.